You really like that microphone, don't you?
This thing's wonderful. I really feel like I've arrived. The arm, like this is almost too heavy for the arm. Like I put it on, it just was like drooping down. It just was like, and I had to tighten up everything almost where I broke this. It's not light.
So you need to upgrade.
No, like this, it'll work. Like it's working fine now, but I just have to
trouble keeping it up.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, what's going on here? River Sullivan coming at you right here, right now. Pre-recorded for your live listening pleasure for yet another episode of your favorite show, that is This Evening Tonight. And here with me, yet again, back off his hiatus from the Forbidden Lands, the demilitarized zone known as Myrtle Beach. My friend, the man, the myth, the legend, the silver fox of sultry sippins coffee, Scott.
There it is.
Yeah, on a roll.
Yep.
I've had a lot of coffee already.
I like it.
I know that my old lady is the one, as she went shopping here yesterday and came home with a big bag and then said, close your eyes. And I did. And then she produced a 2-pound bag of Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice coffee. And then I closed my eyes again and she produced another one. And then I closed my eyes one more time. She produced a third. River's got 6 pounds of pumpkin spice coffee.
Marry her tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I know. 2 years from now.
Don't even wait. Just do it tomorrow. Let's go to the courthouse right now. Come on, let's go.
Go on, get. But hey, speaking of coffee, right here in it, let's talk about this week's coffee, and that is the medium roast of Papua New Guinea from Beach Dreams Market out of Myrtle Beach. Is that Carolina, North Carolina?
South Carolina.
Out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give it its first little taste here.
Let me get another hit of this right here.
Very smooth. Little semi-sweet undertones to it. But I really I'm telling you, I detect in it like that sea salt. Like there's like a sea salt something in there that I'm picking up.
I don't know. I'm sorry, that was me.
I was like
savoring the coffee, chewing it.
It's like that ice cream guy's like,
I don't know if that's just, I don't think that's intentional. It's just like a side effect of maybe.
It might be, but I'm not mad at it. At first I was like, ooh, like I said, it smells like low tide. But it actually, it's not bad. Like it doesn't really come into the flavor. I think it was just absorbed sea air from, sea air absorbed into the paper bag that it was shipped in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it was saturated, almost like secondhand smoke. You know how smoke just permeates in everything. Sea air can do the same thing.
Yeah, so that sat around at the beach for 3 days until we came home, and that was whatever, a week and a half ago.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could have got to you sooner because she told me when I bought it, like that it was roasted the day before.
Oh yeah?
I don't know how much of a difference that would have made, but it'd have been great.
Well, I'm definitely a fan. I got to keep fixing this thing.
Pretty solid coffee.
Also, speaking of solid, guys, we did actually upgrade here a little bit into the office. You might be noticing, one, our audio quality is slightly better. We just upped the kilohertz rate here, which I had to do out of necessity to make up for one of the new microphones that it is that we're rocking here. And we are actually professional grade, I guess, as of today. One out of the 3 mics is. I mean, the other 2, we have Audio-Technica 2035s rolling in, and those things have been the bread and butter staple here, the delicious hipster meal. But right now, I had a friend who I guess was, he's a fan of the show, pretty much hooked us up with a Shure SM7B. And those are fantastic microphones. These are the ones like the big league guys use, like Joe Rogan and other people, and musicians use them. It's a wonderful microphone. They're ugly as sin, but they really look, it's got that look to it, like, I feel like I've really arrived. Cold dead stare.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a snarky one-liner, but
I was waiting for it.
No, I'm jealous. I'm over here with the white trash mic.
Hey, I paid a lot of money for those mics. Those are not cheap.
Yeah, I know.
These Shures are really not cheap. So where would you rank the coffee?
It's behind Neebs, probably.
Behind Neebs.
Definitely behind Kentucky Nose.
Yes, that's still our number 1.
I know I overuse this phrase, but a good solid mid-grade. Like you can tell that it's it's good quality coffee. Like it's
Mhm.
a good step above anything you buy at a grocery store.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you had to choose between this and anything else from the
Yeah.
grocery store, I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a nice little detour.
And I like a good medium-bodied roast.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the espressos or the Colombiano, like anything like that. They're great. I mean, I like them, but it's not my go-to.
I'm a big fan, but at the same time, it's nice to have a variety. I just like all coffee.
I love medium roast coffee. I'm a medium and light roast kind of guy.
National Coffee Day yesterday.
Yeah, we missed it.
I know. I'm upset about that.
Yeah, sorry about missing. People are probably wondering that too. So we do apologize, guys. There wasn't an episode uploaded here last week. We had some scheduling conflicts, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get any magic together here. Scott had something important he had to take care of, and we were scrambling around trying to find somebody at the last minute as a fill-in. And I even sat down and attempted to sit here and talk to myself for an hour, and that didn't
I'd listen to it.
That did not work out at all. Like, it was just like a sad monologue. I was like, and here I am sitting in front of a screen with nay a script, but just my soul.
You should have recorded it. It'd have been greatness.
I actually did record some of it, and then I just was like, what am I doing? Like,
I
I should have put Cat Damon in the chair and talked to him.
I wouldn't have called what I had to do important. It was just more like I didn't have a choice.
You know,
So I do apologize for that.
work-related stuff, making money, reverse muggings.
Yeah, you know.
You got to love it when you're just trying to go home and then somebody runs up to you, shoves money in your pocket, says you're staying for another 8. Oh, we just got picked up on another hosting site.
What?
Yeah. We're now being carried by Tunein.
I've heard of it.
And was it the lovely people at Sounder were able to get that rolling here for us. They upgraded their services, and I was able to get it rolled over into there. But yeah, we'll be hosted here on more carrying services. And then I submitted us to one. We're submitted on Amazon. Not approved just yet, but it's going through the process to where we will be carried on Audible and Amazon. So if you have Amazon Music, Amazon Prime, they do have a podcast section, and so we should hopefully soon be hearing from that. Moving on up to the big times. Oh, wait, and that also reminds me of one thing. I believe we may have hit a milestone today.
My brain is just locked up. I don't know what happened.
Did you have a stroke?
I might have. I don't know.
So we've been carrying this show, guys. We've been running this for, as of today, date of recording September 30th, for 9 months, and a little bit under 9 months.
Has it been that long?
Mm-hmm. January 13th or 14th of this year was when we got started.
Wow.
And now, for me, it's been the countdown to 1,000. For us over the last year has been trying to get to that 1,000 downloads in under a year. That's been my goal. I don't know if that's good or bad. Everybody tells me, I did 10 episodes and got 20,000 downloads or whatever. We are at 975 downloads
Come
as
on,
of
people.
today.
Let's make this happen.
25 more downloads, guys. 25 more streams.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. Share this wonderful little diamond in the rough with everyone that you know. Because we try to make it family friendly and not really like kid friendly. It's not, we're not like
People friendly.
Yeah, people friendly. People of all shapes, sizes, and colors, creeds, and all walks of life.
I like to think we try to appeal to everyone without changing who we really are. Like being that nobody that everybody likes. Does that even make sense? Probably not.
No, I know what you
But
mean.
I'm going with it.
Because you know what? There was not a truer example of all people really coming together than yesterday.
How so? Enlighten me.
The debates.
Oh, I don't even want to get...
Did you watch the first debates?
Last night was the first one, right?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, now, like we said, we try to stay out of politics on the show, but when both sides were on full display last night, that was just quality television. And it makes me sad and scared for the future of our country because I don't care whose side you're on. I don't have a lot of faith in either side because one wouldn't shut up and the other
Neither
one
would shut up.
Yeah, they both wouldn't shut up. And
Felt bad for the moderator. Sir,
Yeah.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Oh, Chris, sir, please, sir. Like, it was, me and my old lady sat there and watched it last night, and you can definitely tell it's two different schools.
Right.
Like, they would ask Biden something, right? And he would answer like any politician I've ever heard. They'd ask him a yes or no
Right.
question. He'd dance around it, try to throw something inspiring in there, and then move on, having never answered the question. Trump when they would ask him a question, if they wanted a yes or no answer, he would just
strong arm offense.
Just strong.
That's it.
Yeah, that dude was in full on attack last night. I could tell I think from what I was watching, like I'm pretty sure he was just trying to get Biden to get tripped up and trip over his words and get him to flip.
Yeah, he was just trying to
which
get
he kind of did. Like a little bit. There was times, but I mean,
I thought it was going to be worse than what it was.
Man, it just
Yeah, I think the whole country is there, regardless of your politics. Like it was a sad day for our country, and
it was like watching two mean girls, like talk fight to each other. Just
it started out kind of being entertaining at first, but by then you're like kind of really feeling uncomfortable for their whole country.
Just,
you're like,
oh my God.
Just the crazy thing about it is it's really not necessary. Like I think everybody at this point knows where they fall.
Yeah.
With each candidate,
mm-hmm.
It'd just been nice to actually have each one have a moment to speak and like get some insight into their personal thoughts. Maybe like
mm-hmm. I mean, me for like my political affiliation, I'm an independent with more conservative leaning values. Now, I say that and watch maybe our comment section will finally blow up and people will be like, "You Trump supporter." Like
no, we don't do that here.
No, we don't. Okay, so. If you guys want to go to the comment section and start blowing up with stuff like that, please keep in mind, we don't, it's our opinions, our business. Yes, we put it on a public forum, but we're not out here openly endorsing anyone. Okay? Both sides have good, both sides have bad. And
no. America, you have your own opinions. I won't try to change them.
Yeah, again, right there. What happened to the days where we could just say, you know what, you go a certain way with your beliefs and I go a certain way with my beliefs. We talk about it and then we still don't agree on it. And you know what, we go, all right, now you want to go get a drink? All right, yeah, whatever. Now we've gone so far to the left or so far to the right on both sides to where if you have a differentiating political opinion, not only are you wrong, but you are the enemy now. There's no changing minds. It's just you're automatically on both sides need to attack each other.
Yeah, well, it's gone beyond you're the enemy. You're like subhuman.
Yeah.
If you even question anything.
You don't think the way I think, then you're just stupid. You're just an animal. You're deplorable. Whatever people are calling people nowadays. Like, if you support one candidate, you're a racist. If you support another candidate, you're just an idiot. Like it.
Remember when we used to be able to be people,
mm-hmm.
Just people, have opinions and thoughts, and not have to be put in a box or.
Maybe
a party.
October. October's coming up here. Maybe the aliens will invade this month, and then we'll all come together. We need something that we all can come together on.
Well, that's the thing. We need hope. I know we can't give up on that. I like to think deep down we're all Americans. We can
mm-hmm.
all bounce back. We've overcome worse. I like to think we still can.
Yeah.
That leads me to my next point. Remember what I was talking about to you offline about the Cajun Navy?
Yes.
I didn't do a whole lot of research into this, but the best I can find was, are you familiar with the Cajun Navy?
So my understanding, the Cajun Navy originated it was back around like when Hurricane Katrina kicked off.
Correct.
There was a bunch of floods, of course, because of the hurricane and just millions and millions of dollars worth of damage. But the locals in like the bayous and the swamps and everything got their John boats and everything like that and were just putting along in the flooded areas, like helping people out, rescuing people,
exactly,
doing good work.
People helping
just
people.
Humanitarian aid that was not rendered by any government. It was just rendered by and large through the people.
Right, and I think that's a perfect example of like we don't always need to wait on the government or a political party or whatever third-party organization it is or corporation. It doesn't matter. We can help each other.
Yeah,
every day. Whether it's small or large, I think we all have that duty to each other. And that's what I love about this story is like, now since then, from what I read, like that group has splintered off into several different factions and they do different things, but the essence of it was a bunch of dudes with boats saw a hurricane coming and just decided, hey, let's go help as many people as we can. And one of the best stories that I read about it was from this professor at Baylor. If I read that right, I don't have the information in front of me, but he's saying, why he was waiting to be rescued, something he never expected to happen. He said some chain smoking, tattooed up old guy came up on a fan boat and saved his life. You know?
Well, I'm looking right here on a website that is CajunNavyRelief.com. And as the Cajun Navy Relief and Rescue is here to help those in need. If you need immediate assistance, please click the button below. You'll be taken to our ticketing system. And you can click Get Help Now. You can donate to them, you can volunteer, but I looked over here in the corner of their site, they have you can request supplies, request a rescue, and it says, that you put your name, your apartment, your building number, wherever you're at. They say if it's life-threatening, call 911, we'll get to you as quick as we can, but we're volunteers. And let's check out the About Us section here on them. So Cajun Navy Relief has, according to this website, has conducted rescues during the following disasters in 2016, Hurricane Matthew, Hurricane Harvey in 17, the Hidalgo County flood, Hurricane Florence, Hurricane Michael, Hurricane Irma, 2019, Vicksburg, Hamilton, Mississippi, tornado debris. They did Hurricane Barry, Tropical Storm Imelda. And this year they've gone on Alaska, Texas, tornado, Tropical Storm Cristobal, Hurricane Laura, and Hurricane Sally. My God. They really, I like that. That it's out there. And they got a nice website. They got an actual phone number and everything. Like, it's, man, please, God.
But you don't hear about them because they're not seeking fortune or fame. Just a bunch of dudes with boats trying to help people out.
Yeah. And it's not pursuing any political narrative.
No political, no.
It's just we're
racial,
helping
no
people.
Gender. Hey, you need help, we'll come help you.
Let me see here. So it says the Cajun Navy had been started by John Adam Buyout, Billiot. I'm guessing.
I'm not.
Best than that, yeah.
I don't know.
Creole Cajun. Buyout or Buyout. 39, a resident of Scott and the founder of America's Cajun Navy, a group that uses boats and high water vehicles to respond to natural disasters, was arrested Tuesday for felony theft.
Oh, wow.
God damn
it. Keep hope alive, America.
Oh, God damn it. Hang on. Now I got to, oh, he's such a happy looking guy. Go away. Go away. I want to read the article.
I don't even think I want to know this.
So this is okay. This is what happens right here, guys. This show, not scripted, not planned or anything. I just pulled that straight off the interweb and discovered that as I was reading it to you. So we're going to check here a little bit on this.
Great organization. Great job. Oh, and he's arrested.
For felony theft. Oh, okay. He apparently started a GoFundMe account soliciting donations to help with the care of specific foster children and their foster parents and to buy Christmas presents for the children. But only a portion of the money was used to benefit the foster children.
Oh, that's sad.
Okay, so the GoFundMe page, more than $7,000 was donated through the page. Leo said more than $2,000 was spent on beds and other items for the family. He also gave the parents cash. He said the remaining money was used to repay himself for personal funds he spent on fuel and supplies for the boys' search and future searches and rescue. Let's see. The GoFundMe account still active, was created by Benoit in February with the goal of raising $10,000 in donations for America's Cajun Navy. Just over $1,000 was raised. Well, I'm going to guess that he is not in charge of this anymore because this article doesn't state anything other than he was out on bond. Oh, God. There's a...
Try to steer the ship in a positive direction, and I
hang on.
drove it into rocks.
Now we got the Cajun Army. The Cajun Army's a real thing.
Well, like I said, they have tons of different little...
Oh, look how they made
groups.
the state look like a boot. Look at it. It's got little laces. They made Louisiana look like a boot. It's got laces.
Yeah. But either way, that doesn't take away from the fact, regardless of this guy's story, the fact that there are people out there actively helping people.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. That's how that started. These guys weren't a 501c3 when all that started. You could be the founder or something before that. I mean, to honestly be the founder, I guess, for something like that is just, you're the first guy that had the idea, and they hadn't gone 501c3 at the time.
Yeah, that's depressing. Like I said, I was trying to spin us in a positive direction, but still, though,
yeah, people helping people, it can be done. So what if we did something like that in this state? What would we be?
I don't know.
Mountain man rescue beards. I don't know.
The rescue men.
Oh, no.
The blades? I don't know.
Oh.
So I don't know if you've heard. I'm sure you have because you keep up on all the gaming news,
Okay.
the Bethesda news.
Oh, yes. Bethesda was bought by Microsoft. What is that going to mean for the future? I don't know. It could be one of two things for me. One is Microsoft is going to say, if a you, PlayStation, no more Skyrim, no more Fallout, no Elder Scrolls, no Doom, because they own all of that.
Yeah, I had that same thought, but I don't.
Or they're going to be like, well, God, that's a lot of profit that Microsoft is going to lose if they cut out that fan base. But I guess then if they don't cut out Sony from access to those titles, to me, that seems like short game. The long game, if you want to be a successful monopoly, is to choke out the competition. So I would look more for them to deny access to those titles to PlayStation users.
I don't know. Like, I kind of think you can't just deny everybody access to whatever console it is. Like, you're just going to lose out too much money up front. And I'm sure a lot of those shareholders, like, that's all they care about at the time.
Yeah.
Is what this quarter's profit is.
Tell you what, that actually could be a good indicator as to how the future is going to be. Because if, for whatever reason that Microsoft says, yeah, we'll let the PlayStation people still have these titles. I mean, we're making money off of it. I'm like, yep, the world's going to end. That's how, like, they're trying to make these quick bucks for their bunkers. I know it's coming, And if they cut off access, they'll be like, yeah, they're playing the long game. So we're at least going to make it through 2020.
I mean, Bill Gates has probably been hiding in one for 6 months. I'm just
Bill. Bill Gates and Jim Justice, save us.
I could see them having one of them situations where they release things on the Xbox first, and then 6 months later.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I'd like to think that this means that Bethesda may have more resources for game development.
Yeah.
We can only hope that.
I don't know. It'll be weird, actually, if we get a Bethesda game without any glitches in it.
Because some of them are endearing.
Yeah. I mean, playing Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever comes next, and you're like, man, this is really polished. This looks really good.
There are no horses falling from the sky.
Oh, that's why. Oh, I beat it in 14 hours instead of 400 because there was no glitches. It just ran so smooth.
You played Oblivion, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you play that on the console?
Yeah, on 360.
Did you ever become a vampire?
Yes.
Did it really mess your game up? Because it did for me.
Yeah, well, so we did a separate save file because in that, every 7 days you went without sleep, your power grew.
Right.
Or every 7 days you didn't feed and then you just slept. Mm-hmm. I stayed in like a cabin on like that one main city on the outskirts and slept in that little cabin for like a year in the game. And my dude looked like a big vampire bat, like big long ears and a gaunt chin. He looked like Count Chocula. But like you were so fast and strong, you could just like murk anything, but everybody would just run from you. Like you couldn't do anything but like main quests.
Wow.
Because as soon as you'd approach for a psycho, he'd be like, oh God, and they'd run away. The town's guard would come running up. Oh, stop, you've broken the law. I haven't done anything.
I got so mad at that game because like a lot of times when you contract that disease, like you don't even realize you have it.
Yeah.
Until it's too late.
Yeah, it was a little text on the screen. So you contracted vampirism. Why can't I see at night? This is kind of cool. Like the night vision was cool.
And like there's a quest line where you can actually cure yourself, but in the console I had, it was glitched to where you couldn't complete it.
Oh.
So like I had to go back like, I don't know, it was like 30 hours or something. It was.
Oh God.
Yeah, like I had to like reload a file from halfway through the game.
Man, I remember when that game first came out, I was living in Montana and I played it with my buddy Ralph. And we stayed in the living room playing this game for 4 days. Like I would play for like 12 hours. Pass the controller to him. We'd go to I'd sleep and he'd keep playing. I'd wake up like 9 hours later and he'd wake me up. All right, man, it's your turn. And we just like did it for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd wake up or you'd pass it off with steel armor. You'd wake up and you'd be like, oh, I got this glass armor. And then he'd wake up and be like, yeah, we got obsidian armor now. Like
closed an Oblivion gate.
Yeah. Dude, I remember first time I saw an Oblivion gate in that game.
Did you run from it?
No, like I just I stopped, just walked because the sky was turning red and like, what is this? I'm going in, like unprepared as fuck, just went in.
This Senate.
Yeah, and it was cool, but then you realize there was like 50 of them. Like there was an obscene amount that you had to close up in that game. But for, 2 generations ago console, like that, they had a lot going for it. I was very
Yeah.
surprised.
At the time, I remember thinking to myself when I first started playing it, just walking across the landscape, watching the grass sway, the wind. I'm like, this is a truly beautiful game.
Man, because I remember they advertised like bump mapping, because that was
Yeah.
all the rage back then to get the textures on shit to make it look good without killing your rendering process and your frame rate.
Yeah, I got a lot of love for that game. So that brings me into another thing. I finally turned my oldest loose on Skyrim.
Oh yeah, so you were able to turn off the kill cam or the.
No, I just let him. I just turned him
All
loose.
If your kid gets PTSD from the game, Mama's blaming you.
Yeah, probably, but if he can grow up normal with this as a father, he wins. So
So, has he been telling you stories on it yet? Because I know he tells you
not quite, because he only got 3 or 4 hours in, and he had to go to practice. But it was pretty comical because he's used to these other games. The closest one he had that was like it was Breath of the Wild, which is pretty good. But
yeah, still kind of linear.
I found out he's somewhat of a hoarder.
Yeah.
He was picking up every single pot, cup, anything that he could pick up, he was picking up because his whole goal was he wanted to buy a horse. He had this thing. He just wanted a horse so bad. It was 300 gold at the beginning of the game. And he kept walking around. He's like, well, if I steal this, what will happen?
Oh, in Skyrim?
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, if he picks up everything in Zelda, that's one thing. But you walk into somebody's shop and be like, oh, I'm taking this. It's going to be a bad day.
That's what I told him. And he's like, well, it doesn't have the red line on it. I guess that means I can take it.
You can take certain things, but sometimes you say steal. Yeah.
So, I just watched him for an hour, just wobbling around because he didn't want to get rid of anything.
You're over encumbered.
You have 50 plates.
I didn't want to let it go.
But the best part was the frost spider. You remember?
I forgot about it.
The giant spiders?
Yeah.
Well, it really wigged him out. I wasn't even in the room. He came down the hall and he's like, hey, Dad, can you come here for a second? Yeah, buddy, what do you need?
These things are terrifying.
He's like, I found this spider. Can you kill it for me? On the video game.
Oh, that's awesome.
To be fair, it was one of the super giant boss ones.
Yeah. Should get him to learn magic. That's what I did with my character when I played that. I did Battle Mage, where all I threw was fire.
I honestly tried, but he's too much like me. He's a straight Nord axe wielder.
I always did that too, but then I was like, I'm going to try magic. And then when I played Skyrim, I did that streaming, stream of fire, and you could dual wield it. Because one would be like the red fire, and then one would be ice.
Flame, ice.
And then
flame,
you could
ice.
mash it together and then just spray walls with it, and it would just keep burning. So I'd go into tombs and have the the ghouls or whatever they were, the zombie, what were they called? Draugr, yeah. And I'd get them in a corridor and they'd all follow me, and I'd just do a spiral and just spray the walls, the ceiling, the floor, everything. They'd have to walk through all of it, and I'd roast them by the dozen, and then wait for it to go out and walk right through it and keep trucking and just collect all the loot. I was like, oh, this is way easier than having to fight them all.
I have the power.
Just all I did was just, all right, and we're done. Yeah, just let your mana regenerate. You're good. And we went from one thing of politics,
I know,
and the Cajun Navy and Americana to straight up Nerd Town. And that's why I love this show. That's why I love doing it.
I was totally geeked out for about 20 minutes.
I'm fine with it.
I'm really thinking about trying ESO again. They've been coming out with some different. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but the different. I think they call them zones.
Oh, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, the different zones, it adds a whole new geographically playable area.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the newer ones is Gray Marsh, something like that. Either way, it's Skyrim basically.
Yeah,
it looked pretty good.
Well, let me know if you get it, because I've been looking for something to play here. I went back into Far Cry 5 and I love it just because it's Montana and it's beautiful, and you get to live out your Red Dawn fantasy in it. As co-op.
Might check that out then.
Yeah.
Totally not intentional.
Yeah, Daddy.
That's some good stuff.
Do you remember your first kiss?
I'm gonna have to draw up a Banana King with a bone crown.
Look at my crown.
Yeah, and we'll make that a T-shirt, and it says on the bottom, "Do you remember your first kiss?" Holding a gun and a bone crown.
Thank you, AI Dungeon.
Yes, we might have to do AI Dungeon for the Cajun Navy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Zombies. Zombie Cajun Navy. Well, no, not the Cajun Navy or zombie, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
I got my rubbins.
Hmm?
I got my rubbins from old Buck. My samples.
Oh, you got your samples
Yeah.
from the Appalachian Huntsman.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to try those out. Have
Yeah,
you tried them yet?
I just did like the little finger of it to try it, and they're in the fridge since like there's no anti-clumping agents. You have to keep them cold.
Oh, I didn't know that. I left them out all night last night.
No, I mean they're good, but like they're sealed. But after a couple weeks, like they'll start to clump.
Like, I know they were intended for like pulled pork and steaks, but for some reason I'm really pumped about trying it on a burger.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like
on
that,
a grill.
The first one, the Bat Boy one, I told him, I
Yeah.
said, that's like a seasoning. That's an all-season salt, man. I'm telling you, I would
Yeah.
use that on everything. And even the Mothman dust, that would be great on steaks, but I think that would really be good on a grilled burger. Because, of course, it's, meant for ribs and stuff like that. That's going to be on a grill or a smoker anyway, so.
I wish we had the time to incorporate that in the show.
What, cooking it?
Let's bring the grill. And
Yeah, one of these days I'll film it. All right. So, guys, we are roughly halfway through the episode here. And in true TET fashion.
Go ahead.
There you go. We're going to torpedo this episode with another round of AI Dungeon. So, we're going to go with the zombie scenario. So what character are we going to be, Scott? A soldier, survivor, or scientist?
We're going to call it a survivor. We need to come up with a real Cajun name, though.
So our name will be Jacque Benoit.
I like it.
But before we get started, we got to make sure we have just the right amount of ambiance. Oh, God!
How I didn't spill my coffee, I don't know.
Oh, the crawdad stomp. Okay, this is really loud. Son of a bitch. Hang on. Okay.
Huh?
Let's try something else.
What? Oh.
There we go. You are Jacque Benoit, a survivor trying to survive in a world filled with infected zombies everywhere. You have a pistol and a backpack. You've managed to survive several months avoiding zombies and scavenging food. You cautiously enter a rundown store and hear a faint noise. You approach and peer into the office. You see a man clutching his chest wound. You wonder if you should help him, but he may attack. You also have a piece of bread in your pocket and can choose to feed instead.
Do you hit process?
No. This would be, eat the bread.
I mean, you got to help him. You're the Cajun Navy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're the Cajun Navy. Okay. You say, don't worry, I'm with the Cajun Navy and I'm here to help. You come in sight of a man slowly turning and falling to his knees. He has tears streaming down his face with pain. You think he may be an acrobat from one of the traveling circus tents.
Give him the bread.
You run up to the man and drop to your knees. I'm here to help you say. You tear off a strip of your shirt and use it as a tourniquet. You place it tight against the man's wound.
Process.
Blood is pouring from his chest, and you consider if you need to stitch him up. He asks where he is when he starts to come around. He squints at you, realizing who you are. He thanks you profusely and hands over his wallet before limping off.
I mean, if we're going by the news reports, that's pretty accurate.
So you search the wallet and find nothing of value. You also find a business card. Call me if you need a roof treaded or someone killed, written on the back. You decide you'll call him when you need a roof torn. Okay.
All right.
Get
In boat.
You tie the man's boat to yours and return to the water's edge. You set up the tent and begin a 3-day wait. The man, who introduced himself as Scales, comes by on the 3rd day. He passes you a note with a name and a location. Read the note. It says, "Call me with the name of a person or I will hunt you down and kill you." You wonder who it is and if you should answer the call. You know the Cajun Navy has lost contact with some of their people.
Answer the call? I don't know.
You decide to call Scales and find out who's threatening you. You go north to a small town and take a room for the night at an old inn. You look for the number Scales wrote down and call him from a payphone. He answers you, and you speak casually about the note. He says, "So the note that says if I call you with the name of a person, that I should meet you at a certain location with said person?" Oh!
What happened?
I just found that in the bar where we type things, it has do. You click it, it says say. Click it again. Story. You can change things up.
So we've been doing it all wrong.
We've been doing it with the do function the whole time.
It all makes sense now.
Well, I mean, this wasn't in the original version.
Oh, okay.
So it's a new thing. Like you used to have to type it in, now you just select. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, do it. Should we process?
Why not?
You say, "That's what it says." He says, "Okay, I'll be there in a few minutes." You finish your food and drinks and begin to wait in your hotel room. You hear several men come into the room next to you and begin to talk loudly. You decide to leave and head for the front desk. A short man with a neat beard walks up to you as you head out the door. He flashes a big grin and hands you a map of the city.
Go look for survivors.
You begin to look at the map as you walk towards the destination Scales wants you to meet him at. You head into a few ruined buildings and find 4 people hiding in a store that was spared the wrath of the infected. 2 men and 2 women, all with guns drawn, looking nervous.
Say your whole line there, your spiel.
You say, "It's okay, I'm with the Cajun Navy." The group lets out a sigh of relief and lets you help them up. You find them to be a bit standoffish, but no longer nervous. You ask one of the men about his wound, and he obliges as he pulls up his shirt to reveal a gaping hole in his stomach.
Patch him up.
The man winces as you place the strip of cloth over the wound and begin to bind it down. He expresses his thanks and says he owes you one. That sounds like good money to you. You tell him that he'll be fine if he gives you a few bullets when he has the chance.
Load him on the boat.
You quickly strap the 2 women to one of the boats and give the map and gun to the other man. You jump on a boat with a heavily injured and begin motoring into the channel. You hunt for a few hours before finding a nice little island.
Don't you get something like slow and bluesy? Like, that's all. I can deal with that.
All right. That's as far as you get. A storm blows up and you're soon dead in the water. You're awoken by a large splash close to your head. We found the island and I guess a storm hit.
Build shelter.
Oh, the woman next to you has launched herself overboard. She swims towards the boat, but there's another splash, and Scales rises up behind her and pulls her under.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
You stand up and venture out to try and help her, but Scales grabs your arm.
Shoot him!
You say, "Shoot him!" Scales gives you a dirty look and throws you over the side of the boat. You tread water for a bit and then catch a wave that pushes you towards the man. He still hasn't caught on that you're trying to help him.
He's delirious. Sedate him.
You grab his hand and haul him above the surface. He splutters and then thanks you as he begins swimming towards the closest island. You change your course in an effort to reach her, but it's a losing battle against the waves.
Pull all to shore. Pull them all to shore.
You begin sprinting towards the closest land as we're in the water and we're sprinting. Okay. And are soon joined by Scales and the 2 women. You make it to land and collapse on the sand, but not without a few more infected joining you on the shore.
Shoot him.
You quickly stand and look out to the sea. You see a large amount of dead infected and boats scattered across the water. Though you can't really make out any survivors, the 3 women began screaming as they realized they are so close to being amongst the dead. Apparently there's 3 women now. They're multiplying. I mean, I said that I shot the infected, but yeah.
Did you put do or?
Oh, hang on. You grab a woman and pull her into your arms. She begins to cry as you tell her everything is going to be all right. You head further inland away from the water and see a small trail leading south. You follow the trail for miles as it turns east and then south. You come across a couple other small communities, all of which are decimated. But you at least found 2 survivors each time.
Bring survivors. I think at some point we need to make a shelter or fire or something.
I said that we brought the survivors to Cajun Navy base. You arrive at the same compound that you were making your preparations at a couple weeks ago. You know the men would be happy to see you and the women even happier. You also know that there are other settlements out there, but the CTB-07 prevents you from finding them.
All right.
Quest completed. Says the quest was make it to a safe...
Can we still put stuff in?
Yeah, hang on, we got a new quest log. So what's our next quest? Because now we can enter our own quest.
Look for more survivors? I don't know.
I got one for you. Become Supreme Admiral of the Cajun Navy.
I like it.
So apparently the CTB-07 prevents you from finding other settlements. Says the device must be set to only allow the signal in a 20-mile radius of where you are. Suddenly the men rush up to the 4x4 and tear open their mouths to speak. You tell them that you haven't eaten in a few days and they're about to eat because you have had some food with you. You quickly hand out hunks of meat, which they eagerly eat up. You then pass them some water bottles. You get out and ask the women which one is which so you can give them your welcome back presents.
Hold on. Grab one of the women's hand and ask her if she remembers her first kiss.
Okay. You grab one of the women's hands and pull her close. Your other hand moves to her cheek, and you slowly lean in. Suddenly, a massive explosion destroys your eardrums and shatters your face. A second later, a shockwave hits you, and you're thrown into the air.
What do you got over there? I see you laughing.
You say who farted. You're deaf. You have a broken nose and several ribs. You don't have a pulse. You're alive, but not for long if you don't get medical attention fast. You try to stand, but can't feel your legs. It seemed that the blast also destroyed your spine. What do we do?
Pat yourself up.
You find one of the many EBSs you brought with you and begin looking for a vein. You find one on the crook of your arm and inject the liquid into your body. Soon you feel a numbness and your broken bones begin to heal.
Seems legit.
You fall forward face first into the ground. Shortly after that, you die from loss of blood. What the
end.
You had an 85% chance of survival. Apparently. And now the AI doesn't know what to say.
Did you break it?
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Yet again have we done what we set out to do. And that was to destroy the life of the poor sap that we have created in a narrative and AI dungeon. So close every time. And yet...
so far away.
Well, all right, guys, that looks like all the time we have here for this episode of This Evening Tonight. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget all the other different ways here that it is you can listen. That's iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Sounder, Google Podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, and very shortly, Tunein and the Amazon. Also, don't forget to check out the links that we'll have here for the coffee. They don't have an actual link right now. Their apparent website is under construction still, but we'll include the link to their Facebook page so you guys can have a look at that. Also, don't forget to check out the merchandising at shop.spreadshirt.com/TET Show, TETSHOW. But okay, guys, thanks again. And until we see you next time, peace out.
Keep on keeping on.